Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of Blue Book MKE and Making Money with Stephen A. Williams here on YouTube. We're going to continue with my video of how to make 50K in 3 months or less with the strategy that I utilize to get there with my business, to get there and to go higher. And I just want to continue with it. I think that it's going to be very valuable for you, and it takes work, but we're going to talk about it. But before I continue, I want to thank my next to oldest grandson. He showed me something yesterday. His father sent us a video, my wife and I, and he was ice skating. He was in his hockey uniform, and he's just skating. He's 5 years old, and he's just going down the floor, like it's nothing. Not even thinking about how to skate. It's just, can just do it. Controlling the hockey puck. He's 5 years old. And I remember when he was 3 years old, they were worried about his ankles not being strong enough to keep the hockey, what is it, or the ice skates, in the right position so he could skate, all of that stuff. And it all came down to just let him grow, let him do it. Repetition brings recognition. And so that means that anything that you do in life, if you give yourself a chance to do it over and over and over and over again, you're going to see success. Don't be one of the people who jumps into something and then jumps out of it, because it's going to make it very hard for you. You have to do stuff over and over and over again. Before I get started on the video here, something that I had done, something that I had looked at when before I was making this video, just to remain consistent with what I'm telling you, is that for one of my businesses, I've made more than, I think it's over 1,200 ads. Can you imagine that? 1,200 ads. And then with my other business, my marketing company, I've done literally, it's probably hundreds of thousands of ads. And you might be saying, well, how could you do 100,000 ads? Well, if you add up from 1990, it's 52 weeks in a year. So for 52 weeks per year since 1990, all the way to currently now, every week I've published ads in just a printed magazine, not counting ads that have been published online, that when we started helping businesses with online business, with deploying online ads. So that repetition of what I've done, repetition like my grandson, where he just went to practice week after week after week after week after week, it becomes second nature. And this is what I tell people, what is like the first step to you being able to make $50,000 a month, even if it's going to take you a little bit longer, is that you got to get used to this part here. You got to get used to making ads and testing ads. Like, that's like the most important aspect, which is also the most overlooked aspect to people being in business. Because if you think about it, everything starts with the ads. Like, that's how people know about your business. That's how people know what you're offering. That's how you're going to be introducing yourself to the public. But see, here's the problem, is that most people run ads the wrong way. Most people try to sell their product or service with an ad. And let me just give you a quick lesson about trying to sell to people with your initial ad. It is very difficult, but you see it all the time. So I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to break it down to you how it really works. So if you've ever seen, number one, if you've ever seen an ad, like let's just say you see an infomercial on TV. What they're doing with that infomercial on TV is that they're demonstrating throughout the infomercial the product. They may have someone that you recognize that's the spokesperson, and they're demonstrating it. They're doing the benefits, testimony. They got all of that wrapped into one commercial, infomercial, and those still don't work all the time. Like a lot of people talk, you probably heard about the George Foreman grill. Did you know that the George Foreman grill did not sell at the beginning? That it did not sell when they first just tried to sell the grill. That they had to, rework the ad, rework the infomercial, and they were going to try one last time. And what they did on the last time with the infomercial is that they said this thing has nothing to do with George Foreman being a boxer, has everything to do with eating right. But George Foreman happens to be the spokesperson for eating right, because they kind of had it the reverse when they were doing it. And so, but the thing about it, the lesson in it is that they ran the ad, reworked it, ran the ad again, reworked it, and they gathered the results. Now, you don't have millions of dollars to do that, to spend on that, or thousands of dollars to spend on it like they did. So you have to have a system in place that allows you to be able to do it. Another example is like you might see an internet ad where you're like thinking that these people are selling like hotcakes. I can set up a Amazon business and I know people want to buy those products or services. It don't work that way. Even if people are searching for what you had to offer, a whole bunch goes into them buying. And it's going to cost you a lot of money to be able to even get them to come to see what you had to offer. And if you're not making enough money, then you're not gonna be able to do it. So you could have a product that's $100, and if it's costing you $100 to get enough people to see what you had to offer, and you get one sale for $100, it's not gonna work. And even if you got two sales for $200 and it costs you $100, how much is it costing you to be able to provide the product or service? See, that's where a lot of people don't understand, and that's why a lot of people run their businesses. They're like, I'm not making no money. I'm selling, but I'm not making no money. I'm going to show you how to fix that. I'm going to show you how you will know. Now, you might be saying, well, Steve, I see plenty of businesses out there and they're doing it that way. I know that they're not making a lot of money. They're actually giving it away, or they're doing like a shipping and handling deal. Because what they're doing is they have a back end setup. Their money is going to be made on the back side, not the front side. And if you're going to do that, you got to have a team of people and a strategy in place to be able to make that money back on there, or you're going to go broke, because you're going to buy and give out product. Even if you're giving something for free away online, you're still going to end up where you don't make any money if you have nothing on the back end to be able to pull in revenue, and that revenue needs to be substantial. You will notice that if a product or service, if they're doing something and then their back end is going to be very expensive, like the real estate programs, I'll use that for an example. They do those real estate seminars, they do it for free. Bring everybody in, they might even give you a book or some notepad, all that stuff. And then they're going to offer one program that's going to be like $2,500 or $5,000. And then they're going to have a program where you have the upper program, might be $25,000 or $100,000. This is where they make their money, because they know that if they get a full room, and then of that room, some people are going to take one offer. And that's where they kind of make their money back for the travel, the room, all of that stuff, those expenses. But then they try to move people up and they try to get them to do the higher, and then the higher and the higher, because this is where they truly make their money. And they know that there's going to be someone in that room, or a few people in that room, that's going to be so motivated that they're going to want to pay that higher price to get that extra attention. And something that I was talking to someone that I was actually doing a presentation here in my boardroom here, is that I had told him, he asked me, what is the price of your service? And I said, for this particular service that you want, the setup fee on that is $2,500 to just set this up for you. And he was like, man, that's a lot. And I said, well, it's a lot, but do you want my full attention? When you buy something from someone, do you want full attention? So to go back to my example with the real estate seminar, do you think that the person with $2,500 is getting the same attention as the person who what they're getting with a $5,000? And do you think the $5,000 person purchaser is getting the same attention that someone who paid $25,000 is getting? that's the answer. So just like with my services, I told him for this particular service, it's $2,500 and this is the type of attention you get. Or you could do this $5,000 package, or you could do this $25,000 package. It just depends on what you can afford to be able to do. But really what it comes down to is how much attention you want. Because I could tell you that if you knew that if I gave Steve $2,500 and he solved this problem for me fully, and so I could be able to just move forward in my business, I think that you would take that offer. Because if you have a product, if you have a service that can make money, now not every product or service can make the money that people want to make, then you would automatically say, I have to do this. Like you would just not even chance it. You would say, I got to do this. And that's what I want to talk about in this video right here. So where I left off the last time is I said that if you want to get to $50,000 a month in 3 months, but we could even extend that further just to be conservative, is that you're going to have to get good at making ads. You're going to have to get good at making winning ads. And just like I said, when I started, I used a $50 a day budget, but you don't have to do that, but you can do a $10 a day budget. And the goal is to make your first ad, and you want to make sure that people are clicking that ad. That means that people are actually interested in what you had to offer. So you know that you got something going, but then the next thing that you need to do is you need to see how many leads you have. So if with this example, I said day one, you deployed the ad, and we're going to just utilize Facebook for this. You deployed your ad on Facebook, and then you got 25 clicks. So you know that your ad is working. People are interested in what you had to offer. But that's something that you've probably had from time to time from running your ad. You're like, I'm sick of spending money on this ad. Thousands of people saw it. Hundreds of people clicked it, and nothing happened. I made no sales. That's because you're doing it the wrong way. You should always run your ads in most circumstances to generate leads. There are other ways to do it, but for this example, we're talking about lead generation. I don't care what product or service you have. You could be selling pizzas. You generate leads and give people a coupon. And I'm going to get into why that's very important. So if people, you get your clicks, so you have a winning ad. Now the next thing is that you need to see if people who are clicking are becoming leads. And like for our pizza shop example, are people leaving their email address? That's all you need to leave to be able to get the coupon for your pizzas, to be able to get that instant coupon. If they're not doing it, then you have a problem with your lead form. That's all you have to do. So you don't need to mess with the ad. People are clicking your ad, but now you need to fix your lead form. Some people, I teach people to utilize a lead form that is right there on Facebook or right there on TikTok or right there on Google. I show you exactly how to do that. But because that is the easiest way. Other than that, you're going to have to send people to a landing page. And that landing page needs to be the right way. It needs to be trustworthy. Everything on there for people to leave their information to be able to get that coupon for our example with the pizza. So if you got people doing that, now you spent $10 each of these days. So you're $30 down. And now on your fourth day, yes, you're generating leads, and you got, let's just say, for example, 2 people. For you spent $10, you got 2 leads. So it's costing you $5 per lead. Now, what you do with that is, with the next step is, what do you do with your leads? For our pizza example, you send them the coupon instantly, but then the power of that is that you have them on your list now. So now, rather than having to always advertise to get that same person, you can send them information about other specials that you have. And that's how you end up building your list. And that's how you end up also getting to where you can see how you can offer different products or services for whatever company you have to be able to get to $50,000. So now for this example, this is exactly what I did. Is once I had all of this under my belt right here, where I was able to get leads, and I knew the amount that I could afford for my business to be able to generate leads. And we always want to make it better, but there's an amount that you're able to be able to afford, and that's going to be based on your product or service. Or if you have, like say for the pizza place, one of the companies we worked with, they had 13 locations, so they wanted to build a huge list. And people already try to do this, but their workers don't do it the way that they need them to do it in the store, by always asking for people's phone numbers so they can build a text list to text them specials and stuff. Employees rarely do it the right way. They're just trying to work and be able to get off and do whatever they want to do. So you put together a system in place, that automation, where you can automatically get that information and you can submit out to them. So in my example, we got the winning ad, we got the clicks, we knew that by getting the clicks. The next, we got that where we were not getting leads on day 3, and then we fixed our lead form, or we fixed our landing page, and now we're getting leads. And then now all you have to do, and this is exactly what I did, is you just double down. You just double down. So you move up, and they call this scaling. You scale up your leads, and you want to make sure that things remain consistent as you do it. When you scale up your leads, you want to, most of the time your lead costs could go down. And this is something that you can continually work on to get your lead costs down. But you just duplicate, you double down. That's what I did. You double down. So you move that up to $20. On my example, I went from 50 to 100 to 1,000. But what you want to do is you go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You just keep doubling down. And as you do that, you can see, I hope this is making sense in your mind. If you can visualize this, you're going to get more leads. Just think about it. If you have more leads, that's more people to talk to about your product or service. If you have more people to talk to about your product or service, you have more people that are going to buy. It's just, it's arithmetic. It's just, unless you don't do your business, unless you fail yourself at some point, there's no way that this won't work. And then that's just the front. That's just like the beginning side of it. It gets even more exciting than this. I mean, like, this is just the beginning. When I first did this, I only had one service that I was selling. Now I have multiple. With one of the companies that I put this in place with, I have, I think, 9 to 10 different either products or services that company performs. Do-it-yourself stuff. Like, it's extensive, all the way from a little over $500 all the way up to $2,000 to $3,000 for different offers that we have. But think about it. The more leads you have, the more opportunities you have. And even if someone doesn't want to buy your initial product or service, I'm pretty sure down the line, like when I did that presentation for this bicycle company, by just doing this presentation for him, we figured out that even if they didn't buy a bicycle from him, that they might want to buy the services. They might want to buy the parts. Why not have an email list that could let them know this is the other stuff that we do? Even with donating bikes, he said that a lot of people like to donate bicycles. Like this stuff, understanding this, if you could get this part of your business taken care of, you're going to be well on your way. You're going to be way ahead of other people. Like, this is the system that works. So I would like to thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel. Please post your questions and comments. If you have any questions, you can get a consultation with me. Links are below this video. Also, there's links to other programs and services that I had to offer. I would like to thank you for your time, and I wish you success in your business.